In this video, you're going to learn how to increase congregational singing and worship. My name is Jake from churchfront.com. This is the channel that helps church leaders grow themselves and grow their church. Never miss out on our latest content by hitting the subscribe button. And if you find this resource helpful for your ministry, hit that like button as well. Nothing is quite as discouraging for worship leaders than a congregation that does not sing. Sometimes you look up at them and you think you just got thrown into a scene in The Walking Dead. Unfortunately, this occurrence is all too common in churches today. Here are 3 practical ways you can prepare and lead worship that will help increase congregational singing at your church and hopefully reduce the number of zombies. The first way to increase congregational singing is by choosing optimal song keys. When you are selecting songs and building your worship set, take time to research and find the optimal key for each song to encourage congregational singing. Choosing a key that is too high or too low for the average Joe to sing creates a huge barrier for engagement. When searching for the right key, I ask myself, is this vocal range of the melody comfortable for someone with a baritone or mezzo-soprano voice type? I use this criterion because these vocal ranges are most comfortable for men and women with little vocal training. Chances are your congregation is not full of Chris Tomlin tenors or Lauren Daigle altos. If you select keys optimal for tenors and altos, do not be surprised if they just stare at you, either admiring your killer vocal range or frustrated that they cannot sing comfortably. A quick way to check whether or not a key is optimal for an average vocal range is by seeing whether the melody stays within the following ranges on the piano keyboard: A2 to D4 for men, and A3 to D5 for women. In some cases, it is okay if the melody goes a little higher or lower than these ranges, but only if it is for a note or two. The more a song's range sticks within the middle of these optimal ranges, the easier it is for your congregation to sing along. The next way you can increase congregational singing is by strategically introducing new songs. I love introducing new worship songs, and I think we live in an exciting time with so many gifted songwriters crafting amazing music for our churches. While I would encourage you to continue introducing new music to your congregation, be strategic about it. Here are a few things to keep in mind. First, avoid introducing too many songs too quickly. Force yourself to choose only the new songs you feel your church would connect with best. The exact frequency really depends on the culture of your church. I've been in a church that requires singing a new song about 5 times before people finally start to feel familiar with it and engage. I've also been at a church where the first time a song is introduced, everyone is singing it with gusto like they've heard it a billion times. I think for most churches, 1 or 2 new songs a month is doable, so long as you repeat those songs in following weeks to continue raising familiarity with them. Generally, by the time I am sick of singing a new song, that is when the congregation finally begins to connect with it. Strategically introducing new songs requires planning further ahead than only 1 week in advance to properly mix them in with older songs and determine the frequency of how often that new song should be repeated. If you put in the time to strategize introducing and repeating a new song, people will increasingly engage and sing it over time. Finally, the third way to increase congregational singing is to engage your congregation. A lot of worship leaders struggle with the feeling that they are the lone worshiper in a room full of unengaged people. In my experience, I have found that engagement is a two-way street. In order to lead people to a place of engagement and singing, worship leaders must take initiative to engage the congregation first. This can be done by implementing some simple practices and techniques in the way you lead. First, make eye contact and smile at your congregation. This establishes a basic but important relationship with them as your worship leader. If your eyes are glued to your music stand or confidence monitor, why would anyone feel compelled to follow you in worship? Next, use simple call-outs like "sing it out" or "let's lift up our voices" once in a while to remind them that they should be singing with you. Finally, give your congregation brief pastoral moments that connect the sermon to the song you're about to sing, or simply shed some light on the meaning of the songs you sing. People will take action and sing when they are given a compelling reason of why they should sing. Remember that your congregation did not spend all week thinking about why you chose those particular songs. Keep them in the know, but be brief. They do not need a second sermon. What other worship planning and leading techniques have you found that help encourage congregational singing? This list is by no means exhaustive, but I hope it gives you a few simple action items that you can begin implementing now in order to encourage and increase congregational singing at your church. If you found this video helpful, please hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can receive all of our latest resources to help grow you and your ministry.